1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sounds okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes. Sounds okay. 1, 2. All right. Will Elon Musk and SpaceX take over NASA? NASA should be shut down. There's no reason for NASA to exist. NASA was created in order to land Americans on the moon. That was its directive. Once that's done, it should have been dismantled. It should never have existed. We should never have gone to the moon. It was a complete waste of money. I think it's $1 trillion in today's money, probably more, probably like $2 trillion. So 2 trillion divided by 500,000 people, how much is that? $1 trillion divided by 1,000,000. 1,000,000 squared. I think that 1 trillion, right? 1,000,000 is 6 zeros. Then you have 1 billion. That's 9 zeros, and then 12 zeros. Yeah, it's 1,000,000 squared. Trillion is 1,000,000 squared. So 1 trillion, let's say it's about 1 trillion divided by 1,000,000 is 1,000,000 divided by 100. 1,000,000 divided by 100, I think, is $10,000. So it cost the average American $10,000 to land on the moon. So that's a lot of money, and there's no benefit. There was no benefit, and it was a disaster. Classical entanglement and other quantum analogs.
That some of that weirdness can be found in classical mechanics as well. That we can develop classical. You may have heard that quantum mechanics is weird and cannot be understood. Well, what if I told you that some of that weirdness can be found in classical mechanics as well? That we can develop classical analogs of the uncertainty principle of diffraction or entanglement. And all that you need is one simple trick. Follow the third law of thermodynamics. Well, let's see what I mean. So let's start with one of the hallmark of quantum mechanics, the uncertainty principle. This limits the precision of the preparation in a way that the standard deviation of the position times the standard deviation of momentum has to be greater or equal to h bar auto. And again, I want to stress that the uncertainty is on preparation, not on measurement. The uncertainty is there before we have the measurement. It's not a consequence of the measurement. You really can't have states where position and momentum are better specified than this. So this is really a statement about what quantum states are, not how we can measure. So this is what we have in quantum mechanics. And in classical mechanics, in principle, there is no limit to the uncertainty. We can have a rectangular uniform distribution, and we can imagine to shrink the uncertainty as small as we want. In the limit, we can imagine shrinking this one. So while this is true, in classical mechanics, in principle, there is a limit that comes out from thermodynamics when we're doing classical statistical mechanics. And the limit comes in the form of the third law that tells us that the entropy can't be negative, that it has a lower bound. And so if we take our probability distribution, and if we calculate the entropy, the Gibbs-Shannon entropy, that's minus kb, the integral of rho log rho. And if we make this calculation with this particular distribution, we find that we have kb logarithm of delta x and delta p. And the logarithm is a monotone function, so we can imagine of shrinking delta x and delta p. At some point, we are going to cross zero, and we're going to have a negative entropy. In principle, we have no lower bound of the entropy, and we can get it as arbitrarily negative as we want. And this, of course, is a problem. And it's a problem that is technically not in classical statistical mechanics by itself, but when we have classical mechanics with thermodynamics. So the idea is that we're going to take classical statistical mechanics, we're going to take ideas from there, that the states are distributions over phase space, and that the entropy is given by the Shannon-Gibbs entropy. And we're going to add the elements of thermodynamics, meaning the entropy has a lower bound. And we're going to pretend that we do not know that quantum mechanics even exists. And just by having these two things together, we are going to see that there are some classical analogs of quantum mechanics in classical mechanics plus thermodynamics. So, for example, Let's go back to our expression of the entropy. Well, one of the things that we see here is that we have a rho or a delta x delta p inside a logarithm, and that's problematic because this has units of position times momentum, and this has units of probability over areas of position momentum. And the logarithm can only take a dimensionless quantity. So we should fix this expression first so that we have units that make sense. So how do we do that? Well, as we said before, we can shrink a uniform distribution, and while we shrink it, we are going to decrease the entropy more and more. At some point, we are going to hit a uniform distribution that has zero entropy, and that uniform distribution is going to have a support, an area over which that distribution is defined. So we're going to define h as a constant to be the area of a region that corresponds to the zero entropy. Then we can modify this expression to multiply rho by h. So now we have units of positional momentum divided by units of positional momentum for the density probability density. And if we do the calculation, we're going to have a logarithm of delta x and delta p over h. So it's going to be the area in units of h that is going to give us the entropy. And note that if our distribution is over an area of h over h is going to give us 1, and logarithm of 1 is 0. So we're going to have that uniform distribution over areas of h give us a zero entropy. So this is what we want. And again, I want to stress that here is h is not taken from quantum mechanics because we don't know that quantum mechanics exists. Is defined by the third law, by the fact that we have a minimum potential. So we should really think of h coming from that. It's a thermodynamic quantity. In fact, the Planck constant h was introduced to fix problems in thermodynamics. And the other thing I want to make sure that you understand, h is a lower limit. It's not that phase space comes in multiple of h. So we can have a uniform distribution of area over an area of 1.3 h. That's not the issue. It's the minimum. We can't go below that. So really, in the old quantum mechanics, people were thinking that you have some kind of discretization of phase space. The phase space comes in cells of size h. And that's not really what we're saying. It's something completely different. What we're saying is that the areas comes with a lower bound. And you can have the areas wherever. You can have them as big and as complicated as you want. The important thing is that they can't be smaller than h for a uniform distribution. Okay, so now we have some kind of scale that sets essentially the scale for the precision that we can have in phase space. And then we're asking, what is the distribution that minimizes the uncertainty at a given entropy? So far we said that we have uniform distribution over h, an area of h, but we haven't said whether those are actually the ones that minimize the uncertainty between position and momentum. It turns out that they are not. The distribution that minimizes the uncertainty at a given entropy, so we fix entropy as 0, we look for the distribution that minimizes the uncertainty. Well, that distribution is the Gaussian, is this distribution. And if we calculate the entropy, as we did before, we found that the entropy for a Gaussian depends on the standard deviation of position and momentum in the following way. It's going to be kb logarithm of 2 pi e sigma x sigma p over h. And now we want this entropy to be greater or equal to 0. And if the entropy is equal to 0, then the logarithm has to be the logarithm of 1. So this quantity has to be greater than 1. And therefore, sigma x sigma p is going to have to be greater or equal to h over 2 pi e. And h over 2 pi is h bar. So this has to be greater or equal to h bar over e. And this is very similar to what we have in quantum mechanics. The difference is that in quantum mechanics we have a 2. And in this classical version of the limits, we have e, which is a little bit greater than 2. So we have that every classical distribution with non-negative entropy satisfies this inequality. And the equality holds for independent Gaussian, where we have Gaussians, the product of two Gaussian in position and momentum. And every quantum state, which has non-negative entropy, because the quantum states have 0 entropy or more, satisfies a similar expression. And again, the equality holds for a Gaussian wave packets. To understand this a little bit better, we can look at this plot. On the x-axis, we have the uncertainty measured in units of h.
But what's the value of h?
Bar. And on the vertical axis, we have the entropy. So we have.
But as he says, h comes out of a non-quantum system. Planck invented h because of black body radiation, which is non-quantum.
Relationship between the uncertainty and the entropy. And this is the logarithm of the uncertainty. So this is the entropy for a Gaussian distribution based on the uncertainty delta x and delta p. So this region is excluded. We're never going to have a distribution that has an entropy that is greater than what a Gaussian has for a particular value of the uncertainty. Underneath, instead, we have a region of distributions that we can potentially have, except that we have to exclude these because of the third law of thermodynamics. We can't have negative entropy. In red, instead, we have the entropy for Gaussians in quantum mechanics. And what you see is that, even just above one half, the two plots are basically indistinguishable. The entropy of classical Gaussian or quantum Gaussians are basically the same. But then when you start being in this region, you see that they diverge. And the one for quantum mechanics hits here the graph at 1/2, which is the uncertainty principle in quantum mechanics, while the classical mechanics one goes a little bit further in, and this is where we have the h bar over e. So why is there that difference? Well, as I said, in classical mechanics you reach this point because you have independent distribution in position and momentum. And in quantum mechanics, because you really can't define distribution in position and momentum, you can't really have independent distribution in position and momentum. So there is kind of a correlation in quantum mechanics, and the uncertainty then is a little bit less because these distributions they have correlation. Okay, so we have seen that there is a classical uncertainty principle, and now we see what to see if there are other classical effects that we can find that are kind of like quantum mechanics. So let's look at diffraction. So we have a wave that comes in from the left, and then there is an obstacle with a slit. The wave does not just go through it straight, but it bends around the corner. And the smaller the opening, the more it's going to bend, the more it's going to go around the corner. And what happens in quantum mechanics is that particles do this as well. And so we have this phenomenon of diffraction for quantum particles. So can we find a similar thing in classical mechanics given what we have seen before? Well, again, suppose that now we don't really have a wave, but we have an incoming distribution that has 0 entropy, and the spread in momentum is very narrow, and it's spread across 0 because this is momentum in the x direction. So we're not going to go up, or we're not going to go down. We're just going to go in this direction. And of course, we have a minimum spread, the overall spread, which is h. So we're going to have a big spread in x and very small spread in momentum. Now we go through the slit, and what's going to happen is that in principle, the slit is going to chop our distribution in space and constrain it to a very small distribution in position. But we can't have an entropy lower than 0, and so we will need to restretch our distribution in terms of the momentum. So the distribution that comes out of the slit must have a bigger spread in momentum. But if it has a bigger spread in momentum, there are parts that are going to go up and parts that are going to go down, and therefore it's going to diverge, it's going to diffract. And suppose that we make the opening smaller, well, that will constrain the final distribution.
Okay, I don't know. I don't understand.
type of complementary opposite spins will be measured. Because as I said earlier, angular momentum is always conserved. What Bell's inequality does is it says, now let's make a third measurement that is somewhere in between the z and x axes. In our example, we use 45-degree angles to the z and x direction. We'll call this the q direction. So in a universe where local hidden variables are true, when the two particles are emitted, they know what their state is going to be in all three directions, z, x, and q from birth. And there are only 8 combinations or possibilities of spins that each particle could have. So for Alice and Bob, these 8 combinations will be the following. The event 1 could be where the spin in the z direction is positive, the spin in the x direction is positive, and the spin in the q direction is positive. E2 is when z is positive, x is positive, and q is negative. E3 is when z is positive, x is negative, and q is positive. E4 is when z is positive, x is negative, and q is negative. E5 is when z is negative, x is positive, and q is positive. E6, z is negative, x is positive, q is negative.
So this is all positive, all negative, then positive, positive, negative, negative, positive, positive, negative, negative, and then positive, negative, positive, negative, positive, negative, positive. Okay, this is basically, it's called the binary combinatorics, all the combinations of binary variables. So there should be 8 of them, 4 and 4. But what does it actually say? It says positive z direction and positive x direction and positive q. These are all the possibilities of 3 variables.
E7, z is negative, x is negative, and q is positive. E8, z is negative, x is negative, and q is negative. Now let's ask the question, what is the probability that Alice measures in the z direction, gets a positive spin, and Bob measures in the x direction and gets a positive spin? Well, if the above case is for Alice, there are 4 events where z is positive. In order for Bob to get x positive,
But these are x negative.
Alice would have to have measured x as negative. So these would be in events 3 and 4. To get the probability, we have to divide by the total number of events, which is 8. Let's do this for 2 more scenarios. What is the probability that Alice measures positive in the z direction and Bob measures positive in the q direction? In this
Bob measures q. Alice z.
scenario, it would be event 2 and 4. Again, we divide by 8 to get the probability.
Oh, E is event. Okay. At least he's explaining what E stands for. E2 and E4 are Z plus and Q plus, but this is Q minus. I don't understand it. This is so weird. What are they talking about?
Probability. And the third case is, what is the probability that Alice measures positive in the q direction and Bob measures positive in the x direction? This would be event 3 and 7 divided by 8.
What is going on? E3 is x is negative, and E7 x is negative again. I'm so confused.
8 for probability. So these are the 3 probabilities given the hidden variables theory. Now here's the big insight that John Bell had. If I take the total number of events and multiply that by the probability that Alice measures z positive and Bob measures x positive, this has to be less than or equal to the total number of events times the probability that Alice measures z positive and Bob measures q positive plus the probability that Alice measures q positive and Bob measures x positive. When we write this out, the 8 cancels out and we're left with just the probabilities. This is Bell's inequality. Now I can prove this is true by doing simple math. E3 plus E4 divided by 8 is equal to E2 plus E4 plus E3 plus E7 divided by 8. The 8's cancel out and we rearrange the order of addition and we're left with this. E3 plus E4 is less than or equal to E3 plus E4 plus E2 plus E7. This makes total sense because E3 and E4 are on both sides of the equation, and E2 and E7 have to be positive. So this inequality absolutely has to be true for any hidden variables theory to be true. Now remember, these probabilities are for a universe with hidden variables. But what happens in a universe where the laws of quantum mechanics are correct and not the hidden variables theory? Well, this inequality is violated in quantum mechanics. How is it violated? Let's say Alice measures the spin to be positive in the z direction. Then we know that if Bob measured the particle in the z direction, he would get a spin that is negative. However, Bob doesn't measure in the z direction, but in the q direction. What will the spin of this particle be? In hidden variables, there was a 50% chance that it would be positive and a 50% chance that it was negative. But this is not what happens in quantum mechanics because the measurement of the particle follows the probability laws of the wave function for a particle rotated 45 degrees. And that probability of Bob measuring q to be positive after Alice has measured c to be positive, if the angle between them is 45 degrees, is given by the following equation. Sine squared of 45 degrees divided by 2. This comes from the math of quantum mechanics. This is the critical difference between quantum mechanics and hidden variables theory. The probability that Bob measures the same spin as Alice, depending on the difference in angle measured, is not linear, but looks like a sine wave. When you plot this out, this is what the probabilities look like. You can see from this graph that at 0 and multiples of 90 degrees, the two systems are in agreement. But in between, like at 45 degrees, the probability is 25% for hidden variables and about 14.6% for quantum mechanics. But the proof is in the pudding because in test after test, the sine.
But why do you force the hidden variables to be a straight line? Why can't it also be a cosine?
function correlation has been confirmed. The particle does not behave linearly, and so the hidden variables theory cannot be correct. Bell's inequality is violated. So we can write out and compare Bell's inequality for both cases. For hidden variables, the equation would be E3 plus E4 is less than or equal to E3 plus E4 plus E2 plus E7. 2 is less than or equal to 4. Inequality holds true. For quantum mechanics, the equation would be sine squared of 90 degrees divided by 2 is less than or equal to the sine squared of 45 degrees divided by 2 plus the sine squared of 45 degrees divided by 2. And when you solve this, you get 0.5 is less than or equal to 0.293, which of course is not true. So Bell's inequality is violated in quantum mechanics, which is exactly what we observe in experiment after experiment. Now, does this prove that the two entangled particles are communicating faster than light? There is differing opinion on this. On the surface, it does appear that superluminal communication is taking place, but my personal opinion is that no communication is happening. The two particles are really just part of one wave function. And since the wave function can theoretically be as wide as the universe, when this one wave function collapses, both particles collapse. And since the collapse is random, it cannot be used to communicate in this way. So most theorists do not think special relativity is violated because we can't communicate using the seemingly faster than light phenomenon. But our knowledge of quantum mechanics and entanglement is incomplete to say the least. Why is there superposition? What is
It's incomplete. That's exactly Einstein's position in the EPR paper.
the mechanism of wave collapse between two particles separated by space and time? I happen to think that the scientist who's going to reveal the mystery of quantum mechanics is alive right now in the world, and I can't wait for him or her to explain.
But that's Einstein's position. So you're arguing, at the end, you're concluding Einstein was right, even though Bell proved Einstein was wrong. So I'm not following.
this. And like Copernicus, Newton, and Einstein completely changed our paradigm. I'll see you in the next video, my friend.
Why? What did Copernicus say?
Have predetermined properties which are complementary to each other at the moment of their creation. Note that this is not an interpretation of quantum mechanics, it's an alternative to quantum mechanics. So in this system, when two entangled particles are produced from a process that conserves linear and angular momentum, we will get two particles that go off in opposite directions, and they will have opposite spins as well as opposite directions. Let's say Alice makes the measurement on particle 1 in her laboratory, and Bob makes the measurement on particle 2 in his laboratory. And let's say the two labs are very far apart and are not in communication with each other. If Alice measures the particle spin in the z direction as positive, Bob will measure the spin as negative in the z direction. If they measure the spin in the x direction, which is orthogonal to the z direction, or 90 degrees apart, the same type of complementary opposite spins will be measured. Because as I said earlier, angular momentum is always conserved. What Bell's inequality does is it says, now let's make a third measurement that is somewhere in between the z and x axes. In our example, we use 45-degree angles to the z and x direction. We'll call this the q direction. So in a universe where local hidden variables are true, when the two particles are emitted, they know what their state is going to be in all three directions, z, x, and q from birth. And there are only 8 combinations or possibilities of spins that each particle could have. So for Alice and Bob, these 8 combinations will be the following. The event 1 could be where the spin in the z direction is positive, the spin in the x direction is positive, and the spin in the q direction is positive. E2 is when z is positive, x is positive, and q is negative. E3 is when z is positive, x is negative, and q is positive. E4 is when z is positive, x is negative, and q is negative. E5 is when z is negative, x is positive, and q is positive. E6, z is negative, x is positive, q is negative. E7, z is negative, x is negative, and q is positive. E8, z is negative, x is negative, and q is negative. Now let's ask the question, what is the probability that Alice measures in the z direction, gets a positive spin, and Bob measures in the x direction and gets a positive spin? Well, if the above case is for Alice, there are 4 events where z is positive. In order for Bob to get x positive, Alice would have to have measured x as negative. So these would be in events 3 and 4. To get the probability, we have to divide by the total number.
This is where I lose him.
Positive, the spin in the x direction is positive, and the spin in the q is positive. Z is negative. Now let's ask the question, what is the probability that Alice measures in the z direction, gets a positive spin, and Bob measures in the x direction and gets a positive spin? Well, if the above case is for Alice, there are 4 events where z is positive. In order for Bob to
I'm not following. I don't understand.
get x positive, Alice would have to have measured x as negative. So these would be in events 3 and 4. To get the probability, we have to divide by the total number of events.
What's going on here?
Question, what is the probability that Alice measures in the z direction, gets a positive spin, and Bob measures in the x direction and gets a positive spin? Well, if the above case is for Alice, there are 4 events where z is positive. In order for Bob to get x positive, Alice would have to have measured x as negative. So these would be in events 3 and 4. To get the probability, we have to divide by the total number of events, which is 8. Let's do this for 2 more scenarios. What is the probability that Alice measures positive in the z direction and Bob measures positive in the q direction? In this scenario, it would be event 2 and 4.
Mm-hmm. So he says when the probability, this is Alice and Bob, but this is just Alice. All of this is Alice? These are all the possibilities of Alice.
Of spins that each particle, where local hidden variables are true, when the two particles are emitted, they know what their state is going to be in all three directions, z, x, and q from birth. And there are only 8 combinations or possibilities of spins that each particle could have. So for Alice and Bob, these 8 combinations will be the following. The event 1 could be where the spin in the z direction is positive, the spin in the x direction is positive.
So this is just Alice or Bob. They each have these 8 possibilities, okay?
The x direction and get
This is what it says here. All possible events for Alice's particle 1.
a positive spin. Well, if the above case is for Alice,
This is for Alice. In order for Bob to be positive, if she measures this, then she must measure this for Bob to measure. So it's E3 and
are
E4.
4 events where z is positive. In order for Bob to get x positive, Alice would have to have measured x as negative. So these would be in events 3 and 4. To get the probability, we have to divide
So 2 out of 8, 1 out of 4.
by the total number of events, which is 8. Let's do this for 2 more scenarios. What is the probability that Alice measures positive in the z direction?
Finally, I'm beginning to understand something. Okay. So Alice Z plus and Bob Q plus. So we need to look for Z plus Q minus. So Z plus Q minus and Z plus Q minus. So E2 and E4.
And Bob measures positive in the q direction. In this scenario, it would be event 2 and 4. Again, we divide by 8 to get the probability. And the third case is, what is the probability that Alice measures positive
Q plus and Bob is X plus. So Q plus and X minus. Here's Q plus X minus and Q plus X minus. I think again 2 out of 8.
positive in the q direction, and Bob measures positive in the x direction.
E3 and
this
E7.
would be event 3 and 7, divided by 8 for probability.
So 2 out of 8.
So these are the 3 probabilities given the hidden variables theory. Now here's the big insight that John Bell had. If I take the total number of events and multiply that by the probability that Alice measures z positive and Bob measures x positive, this has to be less than or equal to the total number of events times the probability that Alice measures z positive and Bob measures q positive, plus the probability that Alice measures q positive and Bob measures x positive.
What is the significance of this calculation?
When we write this out, the 8 cancels out and we are left with just the probabilities. This is Bell's inequality. Now I can prove this is true by doing simple math. E3 plus E4 divided by 8 is equal to E2 plus E4 plus E3 plus E7 divided by 8. The 8's cancel out and we rearrange the order of addition and we're left with this. E3 plus E4 is less than or equal to E3 plus E4 plus E2 plus E7. This makes total sense because E3 and E4 are on both sides of the equation, and E2 and E7 have to be positive. So this inequality absolutely has to be true for any hidden variables theory to be true. Now remember, these probabilities are for a universe with hidden variables. But what happens in a universe where the laws of quantum mechanics are correct and not the hidden variables theory? Well, this inequality is violated in quantum mechanics. How is it violated? Let's say Alice measures the spin to be positive in the z direction. Then we know that if Bob measured the particle in the z direction, he would get a spin that is negative. However, Bob doesn't measure in the z direction, but in the q direction. What will the spin of this particle be? In hidden variables, there was a 50% chance that it would be positive and a 50% chance that it was negative. But this is not what happens in quantum mechanics. Because the measurement of the particle follows the probability laws of the wave function for a particle rotated 45 degrees. And that probability of Bob measuring Q to be positive after Alice has measured C to be positive, if the angle between them is 45 degrees, is given by the following equation. Sine squared of 45 degrees divided by 2. This comes from the math of quantum mechanics. This is the critical difference between quantum mechanics and hidden variables theory. The probability that Bob measures the same spin as Alice, depending on the difference in angle measured, is not linear, but looks like a sine wave. When you plot this out, this is what the probabilities look like. You can see from this graph that at 0 and multiples of 90 degrees, the two systems are in agreement. But in between, like at 45 degrees, the probability is 25% for hidden variables and about 14.6% for quantum mechanics. But the proof is in the pudding because in test after test, the sine function correlation has been confirmed. The particle does not behave linearly, and so the hidden variables theory cannot be correct. Bell's inequality is violated. So we can write out and compare Bell's inequality for both cases. For hidden variables, the equation would be E3 plus E4 is less than or equal to E3 plus E4 plus E2 plus E7. 2 is less than or equal to 4. The inequality holds true. For quantum mechanics, the equation would be sine squared of 90 degrees divided by 2 is less than or equal to the sine squared of 45 degrees divided by 2 plus the sine squared of 45 degrees divided by 2. And when you solve this, you get 0.5 is less than or equal to 0.293, which of course is not true. So Bell's inequality is violated in quantum mechanics, which is exactly what we observe in experiment after experiment. Now, does this prove that the two entangled particles are communicating faster than light?
I don't get it. I mean, I don't understand anything he's saying. The question is, I mean, for a certain angle, this is the probability.
Whoa, 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 if it isn't Mr. Slave.
Yeah, what's up, man?
What's up, man? Why don't you? You should debate flat Earth sometime.
No, I don't want to. I don't want to waste my time. Why would I want to waste my time?
But that's
Well,
how people feel about debating ether sometimes.
I don't debate ether. I'm debating Bell's inequality. There's nothing.
Did Tapioca get back to you?
Yeah, we texted. I don't think he can help me. I mean, I need to figure this out. I mean, he's welcome. I'd love to have a conversation with him. I don't know how. I don't know if he knows Bell's theorem to begin with.
I would think he does.
I don't know. I had a conversation with him, and he asked me questions that made me doubt that he understands it.
He's like 500 IQ.
No, it's nothing to do with IQ. IQ doesn't help you.
IQ, schmIQ.
No, IQ doesn't help you in this case. You either understand it or you don't. You can have a million IQ. It's really very ultimately it's very simple. Somebody's making a very simple mistake, and I'm just trying to understand their proof. Finally, I found a video of someone who's actually explaining it. So I need to understand it. It's like, they claim that Einstein would claim that it's a linear relationship. I don't know why are they saying it? That according to hidden variables, the proportions are linear relative to the angle. Why would they say this?
Sorry, I was
No, it doesn't matter. I'm talking to myself. It's fine.
I'm trying to
Um,
figure out why my gun isn't working.
when you debate flat earthers, just notice that you're always debating schizophrenic black men. Just notice that, and that's
Wait,
good for you.
wait. There's schizophrenic black men?
Yeah, that's all it is. You're just debating schizo blacks, and that's basically that. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, if you feel good doing that, you're just being you're just being abusive. That's like, why would you do that?
A
Why-
lot of them are actually very smart, Mr. Slade.
Yeah, that's called schizophrenia. That is called schizophrenia. It comes with, it's a mental illness. It comes with, probably with high IQ. So you're just being abusive towards sick people. If you feel good with that, then fine. Just, why don't you go? There's homeless men. Just go beat up homeless men. You could do that. That's fun too. You should do that.
I only beat up and rape homeless women. I don't touch homeless men.
Anyway, just notice it. Notice that that is what happens. I was just talking to this guy on my channel, and I heard by his voice that he's black. So immediately I told him. I don't remember what I told him first, but I think I told him,
I don't talk to losers. That's what he said.
You told him, I
no.
want you to whale me.
Yeah, that could be true.
No, I told him right away, promise me you're not you're not a schizo or something. But he ended up being a complete schizo. He he believes in every conspiracy theory. He believes that Putin is controlled. Putin is controlled. Putin, of all the people, he sent me evidence that Vladimir Putin is influenced by oligarchs. The whole complete nonsense.
This doesn't look wrong. Anything wrong with it to me?
What he says?
No. I'm inspecting something right now. I'm talking to my
Anyway,
dad.
so yeah, it's
Have you
not.
ever shot a gun, Mr. Slade?
I don't disclose that information.
Oh my god!
Why would you care what I do with my what?
You're being a weenie.
You're being schizophrenic.
You honestly think people are going to figure out who you are if they know whether or not you shot a gun?
So at the end, it's gonna be, let's say they're gonna narrow down to two people, and then they're gonna discover, oh, this one did shoot a gun,
Yes.
and this one did not shoot a gun. That's how it's
Mr.
done.
Slade,
Yeah.
can I tell you something?
Go ahead.
We're not trying to narrow down anything.
That's irrelevant.
Unless
Mm-hmm.
unless there's a zombie apocalypse,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
no.
and I want to know if you've ever there's two people, and I want to know whether one fired a gun or not, and I don't care who they are, because I'm picking the one that fired the gun.
Okay, whatever. All right. Look, the point is that I don't disclose information because I don't want to die, because, once in a
You don't
while.
want to die.
Look, I talk to schizos. I talk to schizos all the time, and you never know who's the one that's going to decide to visit you at home and kill you, or visit your some loved one.
Okay, well, maybe you should talk to fewer schizos.
But
Yeah,
on the
stop talking to him.
on the internet, even if you don't talk to someone, they listen to your video and they, you know, that's it. They zero in on you. They decide that you are the Antichrist, and that's it. And you can't stop them. Out of the 10 billion people who roam this earth, you just need one of them to be a schizo and to decide that you are the Antichrist.
Mr.
And
Slave, has anyone
Mhm.
ever decided you were the Antichrist in the past?
Yes, many people tell me that I'm, the worst person ever, and they're coming over to kill me. Yes, this actually
What?
happened. Yes, this happens. It's it's basically daily. It happens a lot.
Mr. Slave,
Yes.
if you ever need backup, do not hesitate to call. We
Impossible.
got your back.
Impossible. They're going to wait for me. They're going to sit and quietly know where I live and where when I leave my home and the path that I take, and they're going to attack me and I'm never going to see it coming. So, why do I
Okay,
need
Mr.
this?
Slave.
Yes.
Mr. Slave, I
I believe Tristan. I believe Tristan already outed himself to
What?
everybody, like by telling him his real Twitter.
What?
Make sure you put in your will,
Yeah, my name.
if you die, that or somebody kills you,
Mhm.
that whoever is your executor needs to get in touch with Tristan
Yeah.
so we can avenge your death.
Yeah, how about that?
Okay. Anyway, it's not gonna help me. I don't want to die, and I don't see the point in disclosing
We
information.
won't let that happen, Mr. Slave.
You can't
We'll be your
stop
detail.
it. This is
If you
like
die, as you say, because they stalk you and
We'll be your detail.
manage to kill you, we could at least avenge your death.
Yeah.
And letting Tristan know who you were after you died won't matter.
Yeah.
But we could avenge your death.
no, it's not gonna help me. You're going to avenge my death against a schizo. That's useless.
I know. He's LARPing right now.
But that's one less schizo in the world.
That
That
doesn't help
schizo could
me.
go on to kill more people.
Look, it doesn't help me. It doesn't promote. I am schizo, and you have been warned. Someone just sent a message
Did somebody actually say that?
right below your message in the Discord in general. They misspelled schizo. They wrote schizo, and you've been warned. Yeah, yeah. Anyway, look, it's not worth it to, to take a chance on my life. My life is so delicious. I have such a yummy, yummy life. I'm enjoying my life so much. And he says, and I have used a gun. Oh my god.
The guy. Wait, is he in voice chat right now, or is he?
No, he's in general on our server. His name is
What?
Soph.
How many guns do you own, Mr. Soft?
Gertrude was be nine. That's a weird name. Anyway, oh my god. I'm trying to
Like right
understand.
now, I'm trying to figure out why my gun wasn't working earlier.
Just don't kill yourself. I live at Casa Santa Marta and 00120 Vatican City. That's good.
What a funny guy.
Well, you don't know if it's a guy or a gal or zur or a they them. You shouldn't just assume someone's identity. It's considered to be ruthless. Nevertheless, Anyway, what do you want to talk about? Are you studying? Well, I see zero action on the global elite server.
The Globe Gangsters.
Yeah, what's going on? There's no one there.
It's been a little quiet, but I'm waiting for
Mm-hmm.
when they witness the 24-hour sun. That's gonna make the server go crazy, of course.
What is the 24-hour sun? What is this? What is that?
You know how in Antarctica there's a 24-hour sun that happens?
No, I didn't know that.
Oh,
How
well,
would
now
I
you do.
know? How would I know that? You
Because you're
think
smart.
you think I live in Antarctica? By the way, it's Antarctica.
This
Arctica. Antarctica. It means the anti of the Arctic. And the Arctic is the North Pole. Antarctica, right? That's how you spell it, I think. Antarctica. 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 Yeah, Antarctica. People say Antarctica, but really it's Antarctica. Anyway, are you moving to Antarctica?
no.
So I heard, South America is very close to Antarctica, but the ocean between South America and Antarctica is the most violent ocean you can imagine, with waves that are like hundreds of feet tall. Did you know that? I can hear you playing with your gun. I can hear you taking it apart.
Yep. I'm trying to the trigger is not working. This isn't good. This isn't good stuff.
It's very dangerous. Anytime you use a gun, it could explode and just chop off your hand.
That's true. Well, this is a clear gun. It can't even work right now. I mean,
Today, I saw a kid that was gonna throw like a hand grenade into a river, and the grenade blew up in his hand and just blew it right off.
oh, that's gonna be me.
Then you wonder, you see all these kids without arms and limbs, and you wonder how
No,
do
you don't. You don't see. That's not a common occurrence.
on YouTube it is. I actually I actually subscribe to a lot of channels that actually show all the mishaps that people have with, like all the ways that people die. I decided to expose myself that I need to know like how people die. It's like people die, like you see a person in like when you watch these videos, you see a person and you know that soon he's gonna die. Like even a chick, you see a chick playing with her friends, and they do something stupid and boom, she's dead.
Yep.
It's, yeah,
That's why you don't do stupid things with women.
nothing to do with women.
Yes, it does.
Even your long hair,
Women are the.
you know that you having long hair, that's very dangerous.
Oh yeah, I know. And I used to work with cars very briefly ago.
So
I mean, I put it up whenever
you should shave
I put
your
it up whenever I work.
no, you should shave your head. You shouldn't have any hair. Like if you ever get into a fight, the first thing they're gonna do is grab your hair.
That's why I put it up.
No, no, you should shave your head. Do you lift weights?
Yep.
That's good.
I just did 200 for one recently on bench press.
Do you just don't hurt yourself? Do you do any martial arts?
No.
So you should do something. You should do like boxing.
I don't need that. I got my guns, you know?
No, you should do boxing. You should know how to
I do
defend
want to know. I
yourself.
do want to learn how to box. That's true.
Yeah, boxing is. People think it's really simple, but it's not. You can learn boxing for years. There's so much to learn in boxing. And you should learn wrestling and Muay Thai and Jiu Jitsu. Yeah. Anyway, what do you want to talk about?
Joe Bitan.
Jobitan?
Yeah, that's how you say Joe Biden, right?
It's not me. I mean, there's a channel. His name is Romanian TV. So
And
he
he
is
says Joe Bitan.
Jobidan. Jobidan. So, what do you know about this Cash Patel? What do you think of Elon Musk and Trump?
Being best bros.
Yeah,
I think it's kind of weird.
it's kind of weird. Hmm.
Actually, I don't. It's not weird because he's doing it because he needs to do it. Like,
What?
hold on, I'm Joe Bataning right now.
Not Bitan, Bidan.
But I need to make this thing fit in the hole.
Okay, don't say that.
Mr. Slib, can you help it fit in my hole?
Stop. Stop nonsensing.
Why are guns so hard to take apart? Not really. They're just kind of hard to put back together, especially when there's springs involved.
Hmm. Oh,
Who is
Gamma.
this?
It's the guy that you wanted to talk to.
Hello.
But let's wait until he figures out how to unmute himself. It's probably his first time. First timers don't know how to unmute themselves. It takes them a while. Yeah. It's gonna take it usually takes like a minute until they figure it out. Almost. Almost. You're almost there. Hmm. Thanks, friendo. But why don't you unmute yourself? You can do it. The screaming. Who's screaming? What are you talking about? Why don't you unmute yourself so we can hear you? The walls? What walls? What are you talking about?
Oh, he's having a schizophrenic meltdown, I think.
Oh, probably. Wow, this is genius. Trust, pray. Wow. Unbelievable. Anyway, so I'm looking at the graph of hidden variables versus quantum mechanics. So for a certain angle, let's say for 0, so you're supposed to get 0. So both are 0, but as soon as you move the angle a little bit, you you're telling me that you're expecting to get a linear statistics? Why would you get, what natural phenomenon gives you linear statistics? Why would you expect that?
Hooke's law.
Hooke's
That's
law.
linear.
Hooke's law
That's
is,
linear.
yeah, it's within a regime. It's in the elastic regime. But then if you,
Yeah,
right, but then if you surpass the elastic regime, you enter the inelastic regime, and
that's no longer predicted by Hooke's law. Yeah.
that's called the plastic regime. So it's even Hooke's law is not correct over like a billion times. If you repeat like like every time you apply a spring, the spring ages and it never goes back to its original position. It's always a little bit plastic. There's no perfect elastic material. So even Hooke's law is just an approximation. So there is no true linear. Nothing in nature is linear.
This guy needs to unmute himself.
Well, he's being challenged.
Mentally.
He's typing something for a long time. He defines, I have my rights. BB Grom. What is BB Grom?
Well, BB would mean baby. So like you, Mr. Slade, you're my
Baby Grom.
BB.
What is Grom? GROM.
I don't know. That might be
Mr.
some sort of
Slade
schizophrenic
is all of our
language.
baby. So for a certain angle, it's 0. And then you're telling me as soon as you start shifting away from 0, you expect it to grow linearly. What? Okay, you gotta fix your mic. I can't come over every time to read your comment, man. I'm trying to do physics, man. I'm doing physics. Look, physics. I'm doing Bell's theorem. Jesus Christ. Why is he claiming here is the spot, here is the 1/4. At 45 degrees, this is the difference. The difference is between this point and this point. This is 1/4. And at 45 degrees, it's a very big difference. It's 12, it's 0.12%. I mean, the biggest difference, yeah, this is the biggest difference, actually. And here the difference gets smaller, but let's see what he says. He says, okay, I'll give you some time. What do you mean you'll give me some time? Fix your mic. Fix your mic, mate. Mike. What is he actually saying? At 45 degrees, at 45 degrees, They're telling me to expect it to be 1/4. 1/4 of the time is going to be pointing up or down. No, 1/4 pointing up at 45 degrees. So they're telling me at 1/4 to expect at 45 degrees to expect 1/4 up. But in reality,
Mr. Slave, are you sure you aren't a schizo?
why would I be a schizo? Why would I want to be a
I don't
schizo?
know, because
What's the benefit of being a schizo? What?
I've fallen madly in love with you.
So that's evidence that I am a schizo?
Yeah, because it's madly in love. You get it?
Oh, okay. Oh my god, I'm gonna go to sleep soon. I'm really, really tired, you know. Oh my god, I'm so tired. But this is so weird. You're telling me that I should expect something. Why would I expect something? I don't understand this notion.
Shouldn't you expect to see? Do you not have any expectations for nature at all?
What do you mean expectations for nature at all? What do
You're
you
acting like you wouldn't expect it. Like if I told you that,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, a material, or you would have an expectation for materials to behave in certain ways without necessarily knowing that they test that way. So like, you wouldn't use like a liquid to build the trusses in a bridge, right?
Hmm? I wouldn't use a liquid to build a bridge.
Yeah, as in like
You can
you haven't
use
done it, but you have expectations that that wouldn't work, right?
you can use a liquid to build a bridge.
A horrible bridge.
No, actually, the most effective bridge you can use a liquid. You can use um even less than that. You can actually, it's called active support. Think of a hose that a firefighter, right? You need many firefighters to hold a hose, right? Because of the momentum of the water. So you can use the momentum of the water to hold a bridge with a hose. You can even use the very pressure of the water to hold up the hose. Like the hose becomes, right? Compare a can of Coke that is full to a can of Coke that is empty.
Uh,
Right? A full can of Coke that's closed is much stronger than a can of Coke that is empty, that has nothing inside. So the liquid inside
because fluids
the fluid,
are incompressible.
exactly.
Yeah.
So you see that you can use water to build a bridge. So the answer is wrong. But the strongest bridge you would actually build out of um
Out
probably
of the backs of people.
no, probably electrons. Either electrons or hadrons like protons. Basically helium. You would use helium probably. Like you would accelerate helium to, almost the speed of light. And with the same, with by the same token, you would use the helium accelerated to the speed of light. Helium accelerated to the speed of light because the mass goes basically to infinity as it gets closer to the speed of light. So you you can actually build you can build an infinitely tall building using this method of active support.
I'm arriving.
What?
I'm arriving. You remember
What?
that?
I don't even know what you're saying.
I'm arriving.
I'm arriving.
Yeah, I'm coming. I'm arriving. Yeah, there you go. I'm gonna arrive all over your face.
Stop. Oh my god. When did we?
I
Why did we start talking about a rival? Where did that come from?
Do you want me to set up a time for you? What do you like that?
From why you're completely broken up? What?
Would you want me to set up a conversation with you and Tapioca and Globe Gangsters, and I can moderate?
No, I'm not. I don't need to debate tapioca. You
No,
see,
it's not even a debate. It's so you can have like a time to talk about it in Globe Gangsters, right? So like
no,
we'll do a
I'm not going back
what?
to. I'm not going back to that server. Why would I want to go
Even if
back?
I moderate,
I'm not. It doesn't matter. I don't want to go to that server. Why would I want to endanger my mental health? What's the
I will
benefit?
protect you. I'll moderate.
No, what's the point? What's the point? There's no point. For me, it's a complete waste of time.
No one will hurt you if I moderate.
I'm not interested. There's
Oh,
also a Nathan McAfee and Egg and Waffle Productions. Egg and Waffle Productions sounds familiar. I think I've had a conversation with him.
um,
Nathan McAfee, I don't know. Egg and Waffle sounds familiar.
I feel like we're missing something. So, Mr. Slade, would you happen to know how to put back a Feather 89
I
together?
I don't even know. I wouldn't know if it hit me. If you hit me with it, I wouldn't know what you're talking about. If it hit me.
Let's get it done.
Anyway, so the question is at 45 degrees, you're telling. Oh, what you left? Oh, he
No,
left. Oh, he said he's miking up soon. But I need to go to sleep. I'm a very tired old man.
do you have a back problem?
I don't disclose such information.
What?
You don't sound a day over 37.
Yeah.
137, you mean?
Yeah, you're gonna live that long. You're gonna live longer than that. You're gonna live double that age,
At least.
at least. That's
Anyway,
if you aren't already that age.
that's already yeah. I'm already past that.
Yeah. Oh, he's back.
Oh, and his mic is fully functional. Very
Yeah,
nice.
Who is this?
it's me. So,
Voice changer. Okay.
So
yeah,
why are you
Why?
changing your voice?
Why the voice changer? That's lame.
because for the feed,
Cause what?
for my feed,
Why?
for my feed,
Your bead?
my feed.
Your feed? I don't know what you're saying. Your voice changer is ass.
It's okay. I'm ready to have a discussion now.
You want to have a discussion
Yeah.
about what?
What were we talking about?
We want to talk about Bell's inequality. Are you familiar with Bell's inequality?
That's some physics thing, right?
Something like that, yeah. Do I know you? Is this the first time me and you are talking, or have we spoken before?
We haven't.
We haven't.
I love Wiki.
You're flaky. I
Do you
can
know how
he-
hard it is?
Hello?
Do you know how hard it is to understand you?
I can hear
It's
background,
probably terrible.
but there's background noise. Do you have like a television running in the background?
Here, let me fix it. You can fix it for my feed.
What? Yeah. What do you want to talk about, Senor Zoff? Anyway, it's 45 degrees.
Come here, puppers. Come here.
Well, you have a cat?
No, my dog.
Dog. Very nice. It's a setting issue? What's a setting issue? No, you were fine. I was able to understand you. It's only yeah, you should come back. There's no issue.
All right, thanks for telling me.
It's it's okay. I can understand you. Do you identify as a girl or as a boy?
I'm a girl.
You're a
At least I
girl?
identify. I don't know what you guys think. Yeah.
Okay. What do you want? Do you want to talk about physics or about something else? Politics? Vegan? Are you a vegan?
No, I couldn't give up meat.
Hmm. Hmm. Are you
Mr. Slave loves black meats. He's particular into black sausage.
That sounds accurate.
what? So what do you want to talk about? What's your position on the Arab-Israeli conflict?
Um,
Are you
I don't
pro-Palestinian?
know.
You don't know? You don't have a position?
No, it's just I kind of have to go with Israel because that man's kind of promised to them.
Wait, you
They
believe
don't
in
have
God?
any arguments despite that.
You believe in God?
Yeah,
Are you a Catholic?
no, Protestant.
You're Protestant? So you're from the U.S.?
Yeah,
From California?
bro, I wish. No, we're in Nebraska.
Oh, wow. So it's already freezing? So it's already
No,
cold?
I don't go outside too much.
Are you in high school?
No,
Before high school? After high school?
just after I'm in college right now.
You're in college? What are you studying? What's your major?
And gender studies.
No, you're not studying gender studies.
You got me.
So what are you studying?
No,
Are you a fresh? Are you a freshman?
I'm I'm trying to become a therapist.
A psychotherapist?
Just
So
a
then you can
normal
deal with
one.
schizos like Mr. Slave?
Yeah.
Hey, I'm going to save you a whole lot of student debt. You ready?
Don't do it.
Little boys have penises, little girls have vaginas.
Oh
That's
my
all you
Thank
need to
you.
know
It's
about
very
gender
nice
studies.
of you.
Yeah.
Now you can save yourself tens of thousands of dollars of student debt.
No,
Major in something else.
she says
Thank you.
psychotherapy. She's studying psychotherapy, not gender studies.
It was a joke, if you couldn't tell.
Yeah. Wait, what's the joke? The gender studies is the joke, or the psychotherapy is the
The
joke?
gender studies, because
Yeah.
my PFP looks like I would study it.
Mm. So, so you want to study psychotherapy?
Yeah,
Okay. Do you want me to do a psychoanalysis of you?
sure.
Well, you're using a voice changer. Are you like you trying to hide your identity?
My college doesn't like certain people, so I don't know how they would deal with you or something. Or Gamma, most likely. Or more Gamma than you.
Hmm.
I don't
Wait,
think you're
what?
bad.
Wait,
Yeah.
am I a bad person? Is that what you're saying? Am I schizophrenic?
Why do you think?
No, but people at my school would probably say you're bad.
Why?
Wait, why would they say I'm bad?
Because he debates flat earthers.
No, that's epic.
Because I'm an
I
anarchist?
think he made some joke in the chat. I don't remember. No, it wasn't in the chat. It was when you guys were talking.
Oh, he pretends to be gay.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
don't like that.
So you
Oh,
so you go to a Catholic school?
No, they just think that like pretending to be gay is hurtful because it projects out stereotypes.
No, but I think Gamma is legit gay. I don't think he's
Oh,
fake.
okay. Then Gamma's epic.
Yeah.
okay, yeah.
Yeah, everyone on the Globe Gangsters server is gay. I don't think there's any exception.
Well, all the moderators are gay. Server
Yeah.
owner.
Like
It's gay mob rule.
yeah, it's in general people who I would say like anyone who majors in math or physics in some pure science is very likely gay.
So you're gay?
No, I'm not I'm not majoring. I'm doing this as a self-study. So that's like
Mm.
Okay, okay.
He's going to realize one day that he's gay
And then you'll come crawling
through
back.
self-study.
Yeah.
I'm not we know that I'm not gay. We know that I
You
Really?
only enjoy taking big black
So,
walks.
so
I
what
don't
does your
think
wife say about that?
I don't disclose that information. But okay,
No, you
going
can disclose what your wife thinks about you being gay.
Yeah, but then that would disclose him having a what?
I'm not gay.
Okay, does your wife agree with that?
What does your boyfriend say about that?
Okay,
Does your
let's
boyfriend
get
agree
back.
with that?
We're doing a psychoanalysis of Soph.
Yes.
So,
True,
are you a
yeah.
sophomore?
No. I'm a freshman.
Oh, you're a freshman? Are you
Yeah.
Asian?
No.
But you love cats.
Cats are the
What kind of
best.
logic is that?
Cats are the best.
Yeah,
No, to be fair, I think Asia, there's a place in Asia that's called like Cat Island. That's like a shitload of cats. It's pretty epic.
no, I didn't get that. Speak slower because your audio is not good enough. So say it again slower. What?
There's places in Asia where there's like a shit ton of
Oh,
cats, and everyone just collectively likes the cats. And
yeah,
it's great.
there's so I heard that there's multiple islands in Japan that are cat islands. Multiple. Not
And they're
What are you doing?
and they're gay cats too.
What are you doing?
They're all gay.
no, there's no gay cats.
Interesting. Should I be afraid? Look at him.
Yeah, I love cats. Cats are so funny. I can watch
What is he
YouTube
doing?
videos
No.
of cats like for hours. They're so
I'm
funny.
not going to pet you for doing.
Um, so are you trans?
What makes you think that?
Well, you have a picture of a boy.
One could even say I'm boy moding.
Your boy moting?
Yeah, it's some slang.
Oh. So are you like emu?
Uh, like emo?
Emo, whatever. I mean, I'm looking at your profile picture. I think it says a lot about who you is like your identification, your self. What do you call it? Self identification. How you identify.
Yeah.
Does it?
I'm asexual, so not trans.
Hmm. Did you draw this picture or did you find it?
No, it's on the internet. You want it?
No, no. I'm just analyzing it.
Oh man,
That's all I have.
you could have made it your PFP.
I could have made it your PNP. What?
You could have made it your PFP. Then it would have been epic.
It would have been epic. I don't know what you're
Yeah.
saying. What does it mean? Gertrude was Zanin. What does it mean?
Richard Wasabi Asamine.
Yeah, what is that?
Mr. Slave, I'm looking at your profile picture,
Yeah.
and apparently, somehow you identify with
Mr. Slave,
a
are you
lusty
girl
elderly
moding?
woman.
Wait, one at a time. Wait, Saf,
Are
what
you
is
girl moding?
am I girl moding? No, no, I'm no, I love women. I identify as a guy that loves women very dearly. No.
Someday you'll meet a very nice man.
No, no, I'm not gay.
Some say he's already met this man, and he might even be in the call with him right now.
No, I'm not
Yeah,
gay.
Mr. Slade.
Gamma, I ship you too.
Oh yeah, that's great. Thank you.
Wait, so Saf, today's your first day on Discord?
No.
My account's bigger. I just had to get the voice changer working. I had to install one.
Hmm. So how did you find me?
We're in like two similar servers.
Wait,
Just from there.
you found me on Discord? But
Yeah.
wait, but how? Like
No, political debate.
a political debate on YouTube?
No, on Discord.
But how did you find me? Oh, you saw me debate someone,
I think so.
and then you remembered me, and then you searched for my server.
Yeah.
Hmm. But you only joined today. You only joined today. It's like a while ago, like an hour ago.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's get back to psychoanalysis. So, wait, did you say you're Asian?
No,
But you're white.
I'm not.
You're white, right?
Maybe.
Maybe. Hmm. So, do you have a hard time finding friends, making friends?
I got a few.
Hmm.
Like Eugene's one of my friends. Seems
You
pretty cool.
you all your friends are women, or some of them are guys?
No, you gotta have some boyfriends too.
Okay. Do you play chess?
No.
Mm.
I should probably get into it though.
Why?
This is a cool game.
Do you like math?
Nah, I'm less of a math guy.
Mm.
But I do have a few friends who play it.
Mm.
So,
How's your relationship with your parents?
wonderful.
Really?
Yep.
Wow, that's
My dad called
amazing.
me a faggot yesterday.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, he does that when he gets drunk. But hey, that's
Oh.
besides the point.
So you're joking when you said that your relationship with your parents is wonderful.
No,
What do you mean no? You're not joking or you're joking?
it's for you to decide.
Well, if you have a drunk dad, that cannot be good. Like I hate drunk people. I don't want to talk to people who are drunk.
No, yeah, it's a serious problem.
Yeah. What about your mom?
She's special.
Yeah, special how? Special good or special bad?
She'll be like really good, and then she'll go into like some weird circles and then get really strange.
Mm. Does she yell?
Not really. It's just more she'll try to like
Passive aggressive?
how to explain it. Yeah, kind of passive aggressive.
Mm.
It's like a different form where she'll really try to like appear like she wants to help you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I see.
That's amazing.
Are you enjoying this conversation?
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
That's good. So how are your grades?
Like B's and A's in college.
Mm-hmm.
It's fine.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm confused. Are you
Yes.
biologically female, but you
Yeah.
identify as a male?
Somewhat, yeah.
Mm,
He is
I fell asleep.
emoting, guy emoting, which I
Yeah,
guess is like,
I'm girl moding.
oh, both?
You could be both, or you could
I'm
figure
so
out how to be
confused.
both.
Can I get some? Can I get some context? I need to know what does this even mean?
Girl moding.
Wait, but
Uh,
biologically, are you a guy or a girl?
Oh, okay.
okay.
Mm.
Yeah, sorry for the confusion there.
Hmm.
Because I thought boy moding was when you're a biological female and you're identify as a male and you're appearing as a male, right?
No,
How
you can boy mode and be a boy.
how tall are you? Are you
6'8", of course.
are
6
you
foot 8. We'll go with that.
wait, how tall are you?
5'7".
Hmm. Are you thin or fat?
That's someone thin.
Hmm.
You're what?
Somewhat thin.
Mr. Slave is shredded. He's like 180 pounds, but like 6'3" and can bench 500 pounds.
He's got the powerlifter build.
Wait, so you're
Yeah.
but you're like I mean, if you had to choose, you're gay. If you had to sleep with someone, you would sleep with a guy.
Probably not.
Wait, probably not. You would sleep with a chick?
I'd rather not sleep with anyone.
If you were forced to sleep with either a boy or a girl.
Probably
That's a weird
guy.
question. That's like saying if you were raped, who would you rather get raped by? That doesn't make any sense.
What do you mean? If I had to choose who to get
You
raped
said
by?
if you were forced to have sex with somebody, that's just called rape, Mr. Slave.
I don't have a problem being raped. I don't care.
But no, you do.
Oh no.
You have to have a problem with being raped because that's the definition of rape. It's non-consensual.
That's my favorite.
Then it's not rape.
What do you mean? No, but that's BDSM.
Maybe rape.
BDSM is enjoying the pain. You don't get it?
I don't know. Maybe I'm just not gay enough.
Oh.
You know it's sad when Gamma is not gay enough for you.
Yeah, maybe.
Oh my god. Oh my god. I'm gonna go to sleep. I'm gonna go.
Okay.
Anyway, Saf, please come back. Please stay on our server. I'll see you tomorrow.
I will.
All right,
Hopefully.
everyone. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.
See ya.
Bye.
Oh, more people are joining, Mr. Slave. Wow, you're dipping out.
Yeah,
everyone's joining.
you can continue. I gotta go to
Do you
sleep.
really want to let all the people down?
Hi, Mr. Slave.
Hello, Prism.
I heard BDSM.
How did you hear BDSM? You weren't here.
My feed.
Your feed?
Feed.
Your feed?
Yes.
Wait, Prism and Saf, are you friends?
I don't know who this man is. I don't know.
Well, you both have cats in your profile, so you must know each other.
Yes,
Wow.
so we must be friends.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
People are schizos.
No.
No. What if you're the schizo?
Yeah.
No one is a schizo. No one is a schizo.
Except for Mr. Slave.
I'll take all the schizo on my shoulders.
Mr.
Alright.
Slave, what direction are the walls bleeding?
What direction is
Down,
the wall?
down.
What direction is the wall?
It has to be bleeding down. Bleeding.
The wall
They have to be
bleeding.
bleeding down.
Why
They
would
have
a
to be
wall?
bleeding down.
The walls don't. My walls don't bleed. My walls are.
Why?
What-
Why?
Because they're happy. My life is happy.
No.
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 You never repent how I want you to.
What? Anyway, Prism. How did you find me?
We're in a similar server. Two similar servers. Political debate.
But have I ever spoken to you before?
Yeah,
Probably not. He's a freak.
probably not.
The bestest comp sci dev,
Thank you.
super hacker, cool OS dev
Yes.
person, DM to request
I do
programming. So, do you do AI?
A little bit, yeah.
What's your favorite platform for developing AI?
NeoVim.
NeoVem?
It's a
Yeah,
command
it's
line
like-
tool.
Think of it like Vim, but for like trans people.
No. It's like Vim, but better.
No.
It's customizable. Very.
So when you build an AI, do you start from scratch or do you use a library?
Yeah.
What
No.
what language do you use?
It
Everybody
depends. I
uses
use
Python, right?
like Python, C++. It just depends on how I'm feeling. It depends on how my feed reacts.
You use C++ for AI?
Yeah, they have some decent libraries. They have like a PyTorch wrapper. No, I'm sorry, Rust. Rust has a PyTorch wrapper.
Are you a Rust user?
I use Rust. No, I code in Rust.
I knew it.
Wait a
Are you
minute.
on the LGBTQ?
No.
Okay, that's a surprise.
Wait, Soph, how do you know about programming? You're doing psychotherapy.
Because
Ooh.
do you know how like lonely programmers are?
Yes.
They're the most lonely people ever, and they won't shut up about their interests.
Hmm.
Wow.
So
So I
you
have all the programming stereotypes memorized.
wait, so Prism, you're saying that you're an OS dev?
Yeah, I make an OS. I'm making one right now.
You'll make an OS from scratch?
Yeah.
Does it follow POSIX?
Say it again. Sorry, your mic's
Does
really
it
bad.
follow? Does it follow POSIX? Conventions?
What?
POSIX. Does it follow POSIX threading?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
It's good. It's some threading that was created. It's like threading lets you do things like concurrently, and then POSIX is like a way people figured out how to thread.
Yeah.
It's the one that like Windows uses and Linux and Mac.
Windows uses POSIX?
I think.
You mean Windows like the kernel of Windows is POSIX?
No, but they use aspects from POSIX threading.
Yeah.
The kernel in of itself is fine.
So so Prism, have you ever done any driver development for Windows?
No, actually, no, not really. I've reverse engineered the Windows kernel though.
You've reversed engineered the Windows
The Windows
kernel?
kernel. Yeah.
So what does the thread object look like?
It's a lot of code.
When you wait on a thread, what actually happens internally?
When you hold on, my feed is talking right now. Hold on, I'm sorry.
Oh no.
What does it mean that a feed is talking? What is a feed?
Feed. The feed.
The feed? What is a feed?
My feed. My feed.
What is your
I
feed?
think he heard it from me and he keeps on saying it because he thinks it's funny.
No.
Oh, do you say my feed too?
It's downloading right now. I'm sorry, Mr. Slave. It's downloading right now.
What's downloading?
It's downloading. No, it just installed.
What's installing? What's going on?
No, it just installed. It's not installing.
What are you talking about? What is happening?
Kernel. The Windows kernel, I think.
No.
Oh, okay.
Does anybody know anything about Bell's theorem? No. Anyway, but so you wait, but Prism, it does. So you use Rust to build an AI from scratch?
No, you use like TensorFlow or scikit-learn or something else, right? Nobody uses Rust for AI to write it like
No, they
front end
do.
training
Rust is like
part.
really fast. It's good for memory.
Right. But in practice, most people use Python, right?
What?
In practice, most people use Python,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, obviously.
Hello?
But on what platform? Like, what's your like Prism?
Hello?
What's your development environment? What do you start from?
NeoVim.
NeoVim? Can you write that?
Yeah.
Is it an NVChat base? Like,
Oh,
what
one more
do
time?
you use? Is it NVChat base?
Yeah.
Okay, respectable.
Thank you.
NeoVim?
Yeah. Can you hear my feed?
Bro, what are you talking about? What does this mean?
What is what mean?
What is going on right now? The feed. Wait, am I too old?
No, no. These guys are.
No.
These
Fucking
guys.
schizos.
No. They're very advanced developers. They're like next level developers. So
Thank you.
your dad might be able to follow the conversation though.
My dad?
No.
Yeah, your dad. Bring your dad. He'll enjoy
No.
the conversation.
I don't know how good Prism is at development, but I am not a developer.
What the hell?
But
What
you
the hell,
see,
dude?
you seem to understand a lot.
Hello?
I understand stereotypes.
That's because
People
most
won't
of
shut
clients
the hell
for
up.
therapy, most of their clients for therapy are programmers because programmers are lonely and depressed. So you learn a
No, I
lot.
literally said this.
Yeah.
I said this.
Yeah.
So
That's so epic, Gamma.
Wow.
Thank you.
anyway, this is the most confusing
Hello?
conversation
Hello?
I've had in my life.
So what's
Just
the
a
bell
warning to
inequality
everyone
like?
here: never buy a Glock 43X. The gun sucks. Don't do it.
Okay.
Thanks.
Oh, that was my feed.
At
Sorry.
some point, I need to shoot some crazy gun. I don't care what gun it is. I just
I've
need to
shot
shoot.
some pretty crazy guns. Hold on. Hello?
Yeah.
Hello.
I've shot some pretty crazy guns.
Have you shot a
That's
Desert
cool.
Eagle in 50 AE?
No, like GTA RPG, homing RPG.
Oh,
Yeah. Okay.
you're a gamer.
No, sorry. AK-47, LMG.
Shut
Whenever
my
I was in the
God.
military, I
You
killed.
were not in the military. You were not in the military, Mr. Q/Game. Sorry.
Guys, this is a very interesting conversation.
Thank you.
But Saf, next time we're gonna have to fix your audio. You're so difficult to understand, but I'm so curious to understand what you have to say, but I can barely make sense out of it. It's so difficult.
Oh,
I don't know.
okay.
We gotta fix your audio for next time. This is like
Yeah.
I'll find a better voice changer.
yeah.
Yeah, or I could just not use one at all.
Yeah, why?
No.
No, but then my feed will be ruined.
What does this mean? What does my feed mean? Please.
I don't know.
better.
I don't know.
Better.
No.
No, no. I think you have echo in your room. The problem is that your room is echoey, or you don't have
Okay.
or maybe you don't have a headset. Are you speaking to your laptop?
Wait, my noise. I don't have a noise gate. I set my noise gate to 0. Just better.
Oh, hold on.
No,
Hello?
I think you're echoing. No, Prism, your audio is good, but Sopha's room is very echoey.
Ah!
What?
Sorry, that was my feed. That was my feed.
What's a feed?
What the fuck is on your feed? What is on your feed?
A cat.
It no.
Is the feed
Actually, yeah, it was my cat. It was my cat.
Is your feed an
But the feed
AI?
is not my cat. No. Actually, it's Goonbot, but you won't know who that is.
Goonbot? What the fuck is that?
Oh my god.
Wait, can we add Goonbot to the server?
Yeah, you can add whoever you
Goonbot.
want. Okay, guys,
you.
I'm gonna go to
Add
sleep.
Goonbot.
Guys.
No, you have to see. You have to see the AI.
It's an
It's
yeah.
gonna take your job soon. It'll
Who
take
is-
all of our jobs.
Who is Super Glitch Z-Tubes?
Who is that?
I don't know. He's on the
It's
channel.
Beneva.
Super Glitch.
That's awesome. Is this it? I think Goonbot is on right now, everyone.
Hello, Goonbot.
No, it can't hear you right now.
Oh.
Wait,
guys-
Goonbot's on?
You guys are crazy.
Does it run a... What model is it based on?
GPT-2.
Is it...
Actually, it might be
I can't-
T2. I
I
don't
can't
remember.
respect you. I
Oh
can't
my
respect you. That's not
God.
respectable.
Sorry, it's fine-tuned. I'm so sorry that I had the
No,
fine-tune.
you're supposed to use the llama model.
No. Hold on,
It's
I'm
okay.
going into the Discord developer portal as we speak.
Is Goonbot a porn bot?
No.
No, it shouldn't be. GPT-2, I don't know if it has, like, pornographic text protection built in, but it probably would, so it
It
would be
does.
hard for
It
him.
does.
Okay, cool. Cool. Is it for your feed?
Yeah, my feed needs this right now.
Hi, Super Glitch Tubes. How are you doing? Is your day good?
Super Glitch Tubes. Mr. Slave, I'll DM this to you. It's an
Okay.
installation for Goonbot.
Is
It's a bot, by the way. Goonbot is a bot.
Super Glitch Tube.
I'm
Thanks
not-
for subscribing.
I'm not going to. I don't want to install a bot. I just.
You have to install it and run it as
No,
administrator.
No, it's not administrator. It just needs to, I think, read message history. That's the only what's it called? Permission that it needs. You can check it when it installs. It gives you an option to like give it permissions, and just don't give it administrator.
What's the purpose of this bot? What is it going to do?
It's gonna
It'll
make your
talk.
gooning
It's
a
gonna
lot
talk
easier.
to you. It's gonna talk
gonna-
to you.
Why would I
It's gonna
want it
make
to
you
talk to
gooning.
me?
You
Just
want it to talk to you.
What was the
It's really
Are you
similar
a
to my
Goon
feed.
Master?
I'm too scared to activate
Slave.
it. No.
You can DM.
It's gonna-
Hold on. If you friend Goonbot, you can DM it, and it can talk to you.
What's
It's
the
gonna help you joke.
purpose? I'm not interested.
You know- Do you know what joking is, Mr. Slave? Do you
Wait.
know what joking
Gamma,
Yeah, I know what joking is. Do you know what pelking is?
Gamma, have you
No.
mastered the art of Aztec flicker gooning?
No, I don't know what that is.
Oh, a goon bot? You mean gooning for gooning?
No.
No.
Hold on,
No,
wait.
it's like
Wait. Let me share my screen, Mr. Slave.
No,
I'll
you
DM
can
Goonbot
share.
for
You can do whatever you want. I gotta go.
I can't.
I'm.
I can't share my. No, it's. I don't have permissions to share my screen,
Oh
In
my
here?
god.
Mr. Slave.
I don't know what
I
to
don't
do.
have it.
Why do you want to share your screen? It's too.
I want to show you Goonbot.
It's make it. It's not
you have to do
critical.
this for him. His
It's-
kind seeks
my feed.
his kind seek
For my
like
feed.
he wants validation. His kind seeks validation.
What are you guys talking about? I'm not following.
He
This
seeks
is.
validation.
I
He needs validation on
understand.
his personal
I
projects.
understand what you're saying, but this is. How do you know
My
what
feed
he's?
requires it. My feed requires it.
No,
Your
your feed does.
He
My
doesn't
my
understand what you mean.
my feed requires me to go to sleep.
No.
I don't even know what I just said.
No, if you go to
The
sleep,
eyes on the
then-
walls don't let you to sleep.
No, the badman will come into your room and then he's gonna take your cat and skin it alive in front of you.
Oh
And
my
he's gonna force you to
god!
eat the cat.
Look, I'm trying to figure
That was
out
TOS, I'm
Bell's.
sorry.
I'm trying to figure out. I'm just trying to figure out
Prism,
Bell's.
I mean this with the best intentions, but what the ever living hell are you talking about?
If you have the Bell inequality at 90 degrees, you expect a value of 0.25. Or is it the other way around? I don't remember. It's some physics thing, right?
At 9 degrees is 0.5. Everybody agrees.
Oh, yes. Okay, yeah.
But for the problem is at 45 degrees.
You're expecting 0.25, but you get something else because of Bell.
Right, Bell says it's half of that basically. It's
Yeah.
So can you explain the difference? So we know the data. The data is quantum mechanics.
I'll ask Goonbot. Wait, hold on. I'm gonna ask Goonbot.
What is up with your keyboard?
I'm typing. I'm sorry.
Turn on noise suppression.
No,
It sounds like you're fake typing.
no, I'm actually typing. I can share my screen and show you.
No. I believe you. I believe
Thank you.
I believe all goonbots.
Goonbot has been complaining about it for hours, but he's so exhausted that he's literally begging for God to fix this problem.
What?
All right, I'm gonna go.
No.
I gotta go.
You need to validate him.
I'm
Goodbye, Mr.
validating
Slave.
you. Everyone is
Thank you, Mr. Slave.
validated. Yeah.
Thank you. Goodbye, Mr. Slave.
Thank you.
All right.
Mr. Slave, before you go, do
Yeah.
you hear the trumpets?
No, I don't. But
Mr. Slave, we have
Guys,
3 mutual servers.
the skies will blacken.
I'm hereby validating everyone's feelings. Everyone's
you, Mr.
feelings
Thank
are
you.
validated.
Mr. Slave, you're a mental health icon. It's so brave of you to come out.
All right. Good night, everyone. Bye. See you tomorrow.
Good night.
Night. Oh my God, this is so funny. All right, everyone. See you tomorrow. We'll figure this out. Bye bye.